Good morning, friends, and thank you for joining us live from Stoke-on-Trent for the British Championships playoffs. So our next game this morning is the Tier 2 WFTDA aligned quarter-final between Dorset Roller Girls and Mansfield Roller Derby. I am going to be rigged all day and all weekend, and joining me is...
Hi, I'm Tim Carsmashian.
And we are going to be with you for this very exciting game. We are 2.5 minutes away from the start of this game, so let's tell you who's playing today.
So, for Dorset Roller Girls, we have number 10, Scrim Fandango, number 11, Spread Your Legs, number 120, Fizzle Kicks, number 275, Square Go, number 308, Flash Gordian, number 316, Stone Cold Stunner, number 45, Brimful of Smasher, number 47, Blushes, number 626, Gonna Need Stitches, number 66, Cherry Drop Ya, number 78, Fairy Tough, number 88, Yana Check You, number 888, Mother Leopard, number 934, Ferocious, number 98, Parmageddon, who is the captain today, and on the bench you've got Alex is on Fire and Skate Invader.
Excellent stuff. So they are going to be facing off against Mansfield Roller Derby, and joining us today from Mansfield is number 117, Gen of Iniquity, number 17, Morph, number 203, Kirk, who is also the captain today, number 2401, Walnut Whip, number 49, Hey Arnold, number 505, Scotch Roth, number 541, Rudd, Sweat and Tears, number 7, Bandit, number 800, Nuclear, number 85, Kim Tushless, and number 86, Dragons Gen. And we are starting off with a fabulous set of names again. So Mansfield will be playing in white this morning, and Dorset will be playing in the red. A lovely contrast, which I'm sure our officials will will appreciate even. So, how did everybody get here?
Well, Dorset Roller Girls, coming from the south, won 4 of their games, lost 1, only lost to Suffolk Roller Derby, making their way based on point differential in the end. Absolutely,
a huge point differential.
It was a huge
338 points difference is, I think, what they put up at the end of Tier 2 South. So Dorset more than earning their place. And Mansfield, who came second in their tier, Tier East, they won 2 and lost 1. And they also finished with a positive points difference of 48. So it's going to be a big ask for Mansfield. But,
it is.
You know, you're here at the playoffs. We are 15 seconds away from the start of this game. Our officials are in position, and we will tell you about who those wonderful folks shortly. But let's have a look at who's on the line, ready to go.
So for Dorset Roller Girls, we've got number 45, Brimful of Smasher. She finished number 2 in the top jammers for Tier 2 South.
It does look like, who have we got out? That's number 45 for the Dorset Roller Girls. Don't have a name for that jammer just yet, but we will get that for you.
We've got Morph jamming for Mansfield Roller Derby.
So Morph has picked up lead. Number 2 jammer in the stats for most leads. Number 1 for points. And starts off the game the way Mansfield would want to, putting 4 in the pocket.
Nickel and dime game, that's the way they're going to want to be playing this one.
Absolutely. Hit it and quit it roller derby.
Yep.
If you can pull it off, incredibly effective. So a great opening jam there from Mansfield. Just letting Dorset know that they're there.
Yep.
They're ready to play. So lining up, we've got number 541 for Dorset. Nope.
120 for Dorset, that's Fizzle Kicks.
Getting my numbers all wrong early for me this morning.
Not enough coffee.
Mansfield jammer straight through the middle, looking for room on the inside. It does get denied and recycled as Dorset go around the outside, picking up lead.
Blush is doing an excellent job for Dorset to recycle that Mansfield jammer.
And the one thing I will say about Dorset is they have 3 jammers who feature heavily in both top 10s. So I think that rotation could make a difference, whereas Mansfield appear to rely on more Gempire state of mind. So it's going to be interesting.
It will. Dorset have actually only got 3 jammers in their travel team rotation. So it is just those 3 jammers that are going on jam after jam after jam.
But a 3 rotation versus a 2 rotation.
It's better than nothing.
But great work out front there by Fizzle Kicks. Just one blocker to beat, goes through and picks up the point. So Dorset now with a lead change in the second jam. Some great blocking from Dorset up front here, but working the lines. and through.
Another Leopard doing a brilliant job of keeping that Mansfield wall split.
Absolutely. So Fizzle Kicks is out there, has put 3 scoring passes on. They're going to continue to run the jam. Sensible strategy right now, and they're well ahead on points. But Mansfield do go through and pick up 4. And it is a power jam, so the decision to run the jam not gone their way.
Might not have been the best one.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. If you're going to take those risks early on, feels like the time to do it.
Yeah, and it's going to see our first 2-minute jam of the game.
Absolutely. And Mansfield offering some great offence there, and they've got themselves the goat. So Red Sweat and Tears working that inside line up against the tripod of Dorset.
And lovely offence as well there from Mansfield.
Absolutely, just disrupting it enough, but Dorset able to just stay ahead.
Oh, do you look at that? We've got a tie game.
And I'm hoping every single game is going to be as close as this all weekend.
2 points though, that's too close to call at this time.
And we have barely played 4 minutes of roller derby.
We've got so much more to go. I can't wait.
There are so many good games this weekend. I am very excited about it all. So you are joining us live. Both tracks are available thanks to real-time events, so you can tune in to either track and pick them. But we do now have, that's Palmageddon, the captain, out for Dorset, going up against Scotch Roth for Mansfield. And both walls are settling in to a lovely catch and contain here with these jammers.
Speaking from experience, that is an extremely strong Dorset wall. I would not want to be the jammer in that situation.
And Mansfield just looking to see if they could flip-flop a little bit, just screen round the side of their wall, but that option not available. Dorset lost a blocker to the box. Will this affect things? It doesn't, and there is, in fact, their jammer who comes up, Palmageddon, captain, leading by example. Looking up the inside there, but was hit out and had to recycle. So it does come back as Mansfield jammer completes their initial pass.
Bench, Alexis on fire, getting Palmer to call that jam there.
And it's that great communication, really helps. So it's a 5-point game right now. Dorset will have a pack disadvantage as we go into this next jam with 1 in the box.
I believe that's Frocious still sat in the box, but standing, so less than 10 seconds remaining with her penalty.
Jammers are ready and waiting. And there is a Mansfield pivot lurking to play some offence, and it works really well as Mansfield is up front, spread the blockers out, the pivot to beat, gets through and gets round, and that is Morph with lead, doing what Morph does best.
It's a brilliant jump around the inside there from Morph, but Blushes from Dorset managing to stretch the pack out a little bit longer.
And so Mansfield in now, Morph collecting points, clears the pack. They decide to run the jam. They've called it, but was it in time?
Looks like Dorset picked up a couple there.
I think I'm seeing fingers in the air. 2 points were picked up there. Didn't see that, need that execution of that call off. The timing is vital. So it's a 3-point game now.
With 1 blocker, 1 pivot sat in the box for Dorset. So just 2 blockers on track, see what they can do with it. And
this will be the opportunity Mansfield will look to capitalise on, to get their jammer through, and their jammer is going to be Rud, Sweat and Tears.
Up against Fizzle Kicks for Dorset Roller Girls.
And all the action still in the straightaway as both walls doing an excellent job of catching and containing. And as I say that, commentators curse, Fizzle Kicks finds room and gets out for lead for Dorset. With
a two blockers in the box and managing to still pick up lead jammer, that is impressive.
That is great work, but I have to say Rud, Sweat and Tears is out and right behind, just hurrying them through. Any points we shall see now. So Dorset picking up the 4.
Dorset picking up 4, calling the jam during an apex jump.
And with perfect timing, shutting out Mansfield. So Dorset able to increase their lead whilst and a half a pack disadvantage.
Still 1 sat in the box for Dorset, but that's the price you pay for calling off a jam mid-apex jump.
Well, I mean, if you did all right with 2, I feel like 3 feels like a stroll in the park. And we've got Palmageddon versus Scotch Roth right now. And I have to say, both balls have been fabulous off the line. The containment up to the pivot line.
Yeah.
It does slightly fall apart in the turns if the jammers can get them there. But you can see the lack of offense as it's 3-on-3 in the pack is really showing how strong the defensive game of both of these teams are. Dorset lose another blocker to the box. The Mansfield jammers, Scotch Roth, takes an awkward fall backwards. And that opportunity or that madness lets Palmageddon through for lead.
Yeah. Like you said, Riggs, both packs of blockers showing some excellent defence.
Oh, and we've got our first star pass of the game.
Fantastic.
So, Ken Touchders are loving that name, by the way.
I think it might be my favourite name of the game so far.
So able then to get out, get the star pass down and call that jam. And it looks like, we're just checking, yeah, donuts all around. Our first scoreless jam.
Scoreless jam.
Ooh,
Not a pointless jam. No jam is pointless.
Well, do you know what? Jammers are pointless, though. It's true for Dory. Jammers are pointless. I keep telling them.
Well, they are now.
They are now. They used to not be pointless, but now you're a pointless thing if you are a jammer. That's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
You decide. I like jammer points because I find counting in 5 easier.
I find it easier to see the 5 points if I'm score tracking.
Just show me your hand, all of them. Just wave your digits at me. But we digress. It is 17 points to Mansfield Roller Derby, 26 to Dorset Roller Derby. And you are joining us here at the British Championships live from the Fenton Manor Sports Complex in Stoke-on-Trent. And did you know that Stoke-on-Trent is 5 towns made up into one city?
Really?
Yeah. And it turns out the BBC, it's Stoke-on-Trent week. So we are here at the right time.
Perfect timing. Well done, British champs, for sorting that one out.
They're like, well, they're on their cultural stuff. British champs are. They're like pottery, all about it.
Pottery and roller derby.
Goes together, hand in hand. Because we're all having a smashing time.
Speaking of smashing times, we've got Brimful of Smasher up on the jam line for Dorset Roller Girls.
Bit good, Brimful of Smasher. Number 2 in the stats for number of leads, and number 3 for points. So tasty.
And we've got Morph jamming for Mansfield Roller Derby. Took a swift hit to Brimful of Smasher on the jam line. First bit of jammer on jammer action we've seen in this game, I think.
And we can see these defences locking down again. Mansfield at the pack disadvantage, but it's not showing right now. And Brimful of Smasher doing the Stephanie Mayney T-Rex walk through the middle, trying to break up the wall.
I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
But Mansfield saying, no, I don't care if you've got your fancy footwork.
A lovely bit of offence there from the Mansfield pivot.
Absolutely helping Morph on their way to another lead. But, sneaky up the inside with the star stash. Goes Brimful of Smasher.
Smasher doing a stasher.
Hey. And getting in there, getting the hips around, calling it on the outside. Mansfield looking to pick up what they can, and this time do deny Dorset. But did they get any points? Doesn't look like Mansfield got their hips around. So we have another scoreless jam.
And after 10 minutes of gameplay, this is still an extremely low-scoring game.
So recently I had the privilege to attend the Charters Cup down in Cwmbran, and again we had very similar games. Right City Ravens were involved, North Wales were involved, Rebellion, Uprising, and the scores were very, very similar. Very, very defence heavy, and jammers are having a struggle this season trying to work out how to get on through if the offence isn't available to them.
It looks like both teams have done their homework in terms of their opponents, and for this game, both rules of blockers being able to do a cracking job of shutting those jammers down.
Absolutely. So we see fizzle kicks coming out, and that was nearly 30 seconds to earn lead there. Rod Sweat and Tears with the star stash gets on through. Blockers going to the box from both directions.
Right and centre.
So it is 2 on track for Mansfield versus 3 for Dorset, and we will begin the next jam that way as the jam is called, and 4 points picked up by Dorset there, so they take their lead up to 30. So 13-point game now.
It's quick maths.
Quick maths. I can only do it when one of the numbers is a whole number, like 30. Otherwise, you're out. You're on your own at home. You've got your phone there.
You've got a calculator.
You can do it. I believe in you.
You do the math.
I I was not hired for math. I was hired for my sartorial elegance.
That you were, Riggs.
Fact. So, Palmageddon for Dorset versus Scotch Roth for Mansfield. They are out. I'm telling you who's out. Palmageddon, like a rocket, out of the pack, picking up the lead.
Making the most of that pack advantage there.
But toe-stop work from Scotch Roth sees them go through to pick up. Complete the initial pack, but shut down on the outside there by the Mansfield blocker, and Palmageddon sensibly calls it. Sneaks 3 points for Dorset, but the pivot getting a forearm there on the way round. I love a ref who'll just skate after you casually and just go, by the way, penalty.
By the way, don't do that again.
Yeah. Forearms, stop it with the forearms. And we've got Mexican waves happening in the venue already. Outrageous at this time on a Saturday morning.
Not enough caffeine for that yet.
So the excitement is building here in Stoke as we see Brimful of Smasher versus Morph. It's all on the lines. But it is Brimful of Smasher who steps on through to pick up lead, but Morph is right behind, and we see the pack speeding up for the first time. Great work by Dorset there just to pick off one of the blockers. Oh! And that is what I got out of bed for this morning, is jammer footwork and moves like that.
Picking up 3 points for Dorset. Morph putting a finger up in the air thinking that they've picked up what? Oh, Dorset picking up 4 points. Doesn't look like Mansfield managed to pick any up in that jam.
Mansfield shut out there, and oh my days, that was excellent footwork.
And that's... we've seen that jammer matchup a lot so far this game. Morph up against Brimful of Smasher.
We have indeed. Rudd, Sweat and Tears is back out for Mansfield. Dorset fielding Fizzle Kicks, and Fizzle Kicks is picking up lead now. So Dorset, it feels like have found Mansfield's sweet spot, and they know how to get these matchups to work in their favour, as we see the Mansfield jammer picking up a track cut penalty. I think
was a track cut penalty.
So Fizzle Kicks now with a minute and a half left on the jam clock. Plenty of time to do that, and they decide to end the jam, freezing everybody in the box.
A nice little power jam start.
We haven't had one of those yet, have we?
We haven't. This is exciting.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself on a Saturday morning.
I tell you what, this is the way to start your Saturday, and I'm very envious of you. If you're at home right now with your feet up on your sofa with your beloved feline or canine and a cup of tea, this is the life, isn't it?
It is, but I have to say, we've got a cracking view from up here.
It is not bad from our balcony of judgment, as we have dubbed it this weekend here in Stoke. I tell you about some of the other games that are coming up today, but right now I'm too excited about Dorset versus Mansfield, which is 17 to Mansfield, 40 to Dorset, and we have 16 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock in this first half. So just having a little official timeout. Give the track a bit of love. I'm liking our pink tracks, by the way.
Favourite colour?
Well, pinky purple, but it's
magenta.
Any of our US friends out there watching, yes, we have lots of lines on the floor, but you know, we're well versed here in the UK at reading which ones we need to pay attention to on this particular occasion. So it is it's kind of, is it Mondrian? That was the bloke, wasn't it, with the lines and the blocks of colour. We are going full cultural. I think I've watched too much Hannah Gadsby at this point, and I've started, you know, just bringing in art and culture to my announcing. Very strange. So we're all just
educating the masses.
Well, all just talking nonsense and educating everybody incredibly badly. But if you're not sure what I'm on about, hopefully you've seen Nanette by Hannah Gadsby, and I am not just completely mad. That is how you feel an official timeout. Tim, over to you.
So we've got Palmageddon jamming for Dorset Roller Derby, and we've got Rudd, Sweat and Tears jamming for Mansfield.
And all the action is in turn one right now, so it is a power start for Palmageddon.
Of course.
Who is loving life, but not.
It's a strong tripod there.
Look at them sucking up the space at every opportunity as Dorset come in to offer the offence. The jammer has to disengage, and Mansfield are just going, fine, we'll come backwards.
Fine, we'll play some counter-offence as well.
But Dorset almost had to go full man-on-man, and I don't mean that in any gendered kind of way. Player on player, skater on skater. the zone positioning was not working for them, and Mansfield still with 2 out front there.
45. Oh,
and a penalty kill, and they come out with it. Rod Sweat and Tears comes out of the box and picks up lead.
45 seconds into that jam before lead was called.
Yo, Mansfield, your blockers did the business right there.
And another one of Mansfield's blockers taking Blushes out on the outside line as she tries to recycle the Mansfield jammer.
This is excellent work we're seeing here now as Rod Sweat and Tears goes round. Looks like we've had a star pass, and it's Cherry Dropia who has taken the star. So Pack waits at turn 4 as Rod Sweat and Tears comes in. Oh, calling it and falling all at the same time.
Doing it in style.
So let's have a look. 2 points that looks like to me picked up by Mansfield. So 6 altogether for Mansfield. A little bit late adding our 4 from the first one there. I was thinking she'd be round more than once. So 6 picked up there by Mansfield takes us to 23, plays 40, and we're into the last 15 minutes of this first half.
Only 17 points in it. See, I can do maths if it's a whole number as well.
Exactly, we've got this. Maths coming live and direct to you when we reach the round numbers. So we have got Brimful Smasher out front, pushing up at the front and slaloming through blockers to pick up lead. Scotch Roth, though, being held at the back of turn 1. Offense being unleashed.
Yep.
No success.
It looks like those Jackman rotations have been switched up.
Oh, Brimful Smasher just leaving Mansfield blockers in her wake, trailing on the floor.
Cloud of dust.
Absolutely. Great persistence by Scotch Roth up here, great line work.
Lovely toe stops there on that outside line.
Track awareness. Oh, and a lovely little bean dip there from Brimful Smasher. Says 8 points will do me nicely, thanks for your time, and calls it there. So Dorset really starting to turn things on a little bit here.
Turning up the heat. Got an empty penalty box.
Well, now you've said it.
Oh, I've jinxed it.
that is what we do here. So I was going to tell you about some of our officials, but I think we are having a timeout. I thought we were going to have a timeout.
Yep.
So let's tell you about some of the marvellous officials we've got with us today. So we have Strapping Youngbeard, Slain, Victoria Velociraptor, Tiny Tearaway, Guinness, Ref, Leopard, Trey Cruel and Polly.
And we also have X-Ray Ted, Marilyn Manson, Lula Bell, X-Ray... I've already said X-Ray Ted. They're on there twice. Gaston, Elevator, Dragon's Den.
Leviathan.
Thank you, Riggs.
You're welcome.
Pancake, Jude and Champy.
I have to say that very slowly and very carefully. Leviathan, because I haven't caught out about that one before. And you know what? You know why X-Ray Ted's on there twice? Because he's heading up the NSO crew and doing a job as well.
That'll be why.
Turns out you get your name on there twice when
Fantastic.
that happens, because you're just too good. Because you're like, I'm going to lead this, I'm going to do this as well. Because our NSOs are amazing.
They are.
And they are going to be here all weekend doing all the very important stuff, like giving us stats and things like that. So we are very grateful for them and our lovely officials in stripes. And of course, if you want to get involved and you don't like the look of all this smashy on a Saturday morning, you could be a pointy, stripy referee official. We're always looking for those.
And NSOs as well, if you don't fancy skating at all.
If you look good with a clipboard and a bum bag. They do seem to be
I love a bum bag.
the requirement of being a top NSO. Right, top jammers are on track right now. It's Fizzle Kicks versus Morph, but there are top blocking units out there as well. So Mansfield pivot was bridging, but the packs come back together, so offers a bit of offense, but
that Dorset wall doing a fantastic job of rotating around, closing down the gaps in lanes 1 and 4.
They do beautiful things. So they're a tripod with one, and then they're a cube, and then they're like a 3-wall with a brace. And either way, Fizzle Kicks is through and lead. And that great blocking work there. Oh, give us a whip.
Love a t-shirt whip.
Whip your jammer, around you go, but Fizzle Kicks somehow hung on to that.
Pulling it off in arabesque.
Yeah. Oh, so there's some excellent roller derby on offer all weekend. But right now, Mansfield are on the 23. We have Dorset on 48. I don't think points were picked up in there for anybody. So 13 minutes on the clock.
A lot can happen in 13 minutes.
So much. And I think we're going to find out as Mansfield are in a bit of penalty trouble. 2 in the box. So big pack advantage for Dorset. And let's just double check which jammers we've got
I
out
believe that's
there.
Parmageddon.
It is Parmageddon. Ignore the graphics on your screen right now if they're anything like ours, because we have fresh jammers out there doing the business. And it is Blood, Sweat and Tears out there for Mansfield. There's a bit of a pile up at the back. Everybody checks everybody's all right, and then they carry on. But the pivot from Mansfield picking up the penalty. Staying low is Blood, Sweat and Tears, but he's able to get the no pass, no penalty to continue on. Parmageddon bouncing around in that pack.
Yeah.
So we come to the end of that jam. It is looking like 8 points were picked up by Dorset in that jam. So our scores are currently 23 to Mansfield. Dorset have pulled ahead on 60 with 10 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. I really hope your graphics haven't frozen like ours have, but our fabulous team here will get those refreshing and updating. And if it is just us, well, that's fine, because we're here, we're live, we can see what's going on. But we will make sure to update you regularly, just on the safe side. So right now, with Scotch Roth out there for Mansfield.
And Brimful of Smasher out there for Dorset Roller Girls.
And a lovely roll around and roll off, but actually a track cut picked up. If it looks too good to be true, sometimes it is.
So Brimful of Smasher with a power jam. Let's see if she can capitalise on it.
And that is exactly what you didn't want as Mansfield right now. And oh my days, Matrix style with a massive smile and a pump
She
fist.
knows she did good
I
there.
nailed that move. Yeah, I did. All those boot camps paying off right now. But Mansfield say, all right, fool us once, shame on us. Put up the inside. Oh, and the footwork again.
Those pirouettes are something else.
How is somebody that elegant? You can see our crowd bowing down in front of the jammer, Dorset jammer right now.
There was literal bowing at Dorset's last game as well.
And when the jamming is worthy of it, I love to see that kind of support and respect, because that is what we are here for this weekend, is to see awesome roller derby.
So at least 8 points have gone up on the scoreboard for Dorset.
They have indeed, but Brimful of Smasher has been slowed momentarily, but the patience of this jammer is something to be watched. Looks over to the bench and says, "I will call it right now." So, couple of points, 2 more points picked up at the end of that pass. So Dorset very kindly taking themselves to 70, Mansfield on 23. It's a 43-point difference.
Extending that lead quite significantly
And
at
really,
this point.
that's only happened over the last 3 jams.
Oh, yeah.
Just those last 3 jams have really Dorset figuring out Mansfield, and I think they know now. So going to go into the half-time with quite a sizable lead. Not an impossible obstacle to overcome for Mansfield, but
we've got Morph jamming for Mansfield up against Fizzle Kicks for Dorset Roller Girls.
and that offensive work there from the Mansfield pivot was a beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That was number 85, and that is Ken Touch This. Thank you, Ken.
And as Mansfield pick up lead jammer, Fizzle Kicks going for the Star Stash, seeing if they can trick Mansfield with that one.
Oh, but it is a forearm picked up there by the Mansfield jammer, Morph. So it is a power jam in favour of Dorset right now. So
And that's a 2-minute jam as well.
here we will go for the 2 minutes, our second one of the game. Oh, riding out the hits, getting low, can't stay in. Mansfield able to reform in front of Fizzle Kicks. It's
Fizzle kicks without the jammer cover on though, but that was their initial pass, so no points to be scored anyway.
It's all good. Got the hat back on in time to come back in and collect the points as we see Morph back out on track. And Morph up front dealing with the Dorset blockers. Fizzle kicks picking up. No, not. It was the blocker who picked up a penalty. Fizzle kicks spreads out those blockers and gets on through. So 4 tidy points there picked up by Dorset. So
lovely bit of offence there from Spread Your Legs for Dorset Roller Girls.
But that was a huge hit there. That was number 800 Nuclear. Oh, and another shirt whip. Mansfield loving a shirt whip today. Second one we've seen.
I want to see how many more we see of those from Mansfield throughout the weekend.
Oh, I'm loving that whip. But Mansfield did manage to grab themselves 4 points in amongst that 2-minute jam. 7, sorry. How dare I was so quick to talk about it then. 7 points picked up, 8 picked up by Dorset. So 30 on the ball for Mansfield, plays 78 for Dorset, and we are less than 6 minutes to go. Just have a quick timeout. Everybody just making sure all the paperwork is sorted straight. Hope you're having a lovely morning and enjoying this fabulous Tier 2 WFTDA aligned quarter-final between Dorset Roller Derby and Mansfield Roller Derby. As mentioned, this is a quarter-final. And we have a whole 2 days of games coming up this weekend. Apparently at the British Champs playoffs last year, during the British Championships, there were 5,947 jams this year in the British Champs so far. Yeah, 1,162 players. There's a lot of you out there.
Yep.
48,502 points were scored. That's a hell of a power jam, that is. That is a power jam. But we don't have do we have a power jam? We do have a power jam here, do we? No, we have a run-up. Blood, Sweat and Tears, I think that is right back at the exit of turn 4, just looking for a bit of run-up. Oh, that shimmy action and finding room on the inside.
Finding room on the inside where Parmageddon couldn't.
Absolutely. Blood, Sweat and Tears literally just stood there, got a run up and knew exactly where they wanted to go and took that line. Smashing straight through the Dorset wall on a scoring pass as we see Parmageddon complete the initial. Blood, Sweat and Tears with their head down and through.
That is some powerful jamming, and I think that's the second time we've seen that run-up jam start from Blood, Sweat and Tears today.
It's run up, salmon shoulders, inside line, and then out. And then what you do apparently is on your second scoring pass, is you just pirouette through the inside line at turn 3.
I wish it was that easy.
I mean, saying it is so much easier than doing it. Oh, but this time Dorset able just to slow Rudd down a little bit there. Meanwhile, Parmageddon is having a jam at the back there. Mansfield all over Parmageddon. We're a minute in, and I don't believe that Parmageddon's completed the initial or not. Oh, they had completed the initials, but 2 points picked up there as Mansfield put up 10 points. Big jam from them.
That's the biggest jam they've had so far this game, kind of equal to the biggest jam from Dorset, both scoring 10 points.
Making quick maths easy. It's a 40-point game. Thank you very much, both teams. So we are coming in to the last 4 minutes of this first half. Brimful of Smasher out jamming for Dorset versus Scotch Roth for Mansfield.
Bit of a different dynamic coming from those two jammers. Scotch Roth taking it a little bit slower with Brimful of Smasher kind of going for those shoulder hits.
Brimful of Smasher seems to wait in that tripod like that very patient jammer. Reminds me somewhat of Rogue Runner back in the London days. Just used to just be on the back of the wall and you think where they're going, and all of a sudden the gap opens and they explode through. And a huge impact there.
Taking Brimful of Smasher's kneecap off with it.
Just going to pop that back on before they resume play, which is very sensible. It is a power jam right now for Brimful of Smasher. It probably doesn't feel like it right now.
No.
But it absolutely is. We are, of course, playing across 2 tracks here, so if you do hear incoming whistles, that is from the opposite track. Our 2 tracks are using different whistles, I'm reliably informed. The Fox 40 and the Fox Pearl.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I hope that means something to you guys out there in Whistle Land, but nothing to me as we see Brimful of Smasher trying to execute that move on the outside, but Mansfield wise to it and shut it down. No points put up yet by anybody.
Brimful of Smasher being taken to the back of the pack. We've had a star pass from Mansfield with Ken Touch This. Best name now jamming for Mansfield. But
Yes.
Brimful of Smasher, I believe, calling that jam off.
The only person who's allowed to start is Ken Touches. So it is back to a 43-point game. As Dorset apparently like that differential, like that. 43 feels comfortable, 40 we don't like, 43 feels good. But Dorset do have their pivot in the box as we go into this next jam, and they're teasing us with a potential pivot line start. They don't mean it, look at them, they didn't mean it. They never mean it these days.
We haven't seen one of them yet today, have we?
No, we haven't. They don't. They're always pretend these days. So Fizzle Kicks looking for room on the inside. Morph working the outside line. It is Fizzle Kicks up at the front of the pack.
Oh, with one to beat, and she makes it through, picking up lead jammer for Dorset.
Dorset forcing the recycle. Morph immediately moves to the star stash, and the lane opens up on the inside. So Morph goes through, completes the initial, as we see Fizzle Kicks coming back in for points.
Fizzle Kicks calling that jam, preventing Mansfield from picking up any points in that pass.
A smart way to head towards the end of this first half by Dorset. Just pop the points up, shut Mansfield down, and they've really, in this last 13 minutes or so, Dorset have really stretched away from Mansfield, and the difference is starting to become noticeable.
Yep.
Can they maintain that into the second half?
Still all to play for.
It really is. So we have Palmageddon for Dorset versus Scotch Roth for Mansfield. Both jammers were caught and contained off the line. It is Mansfield jammer at the back. That is Scotch Roth being held by a beautiful four wall, as we see Palmageddon struggling against a lovely tripod. Pivot coming out of the box, or blocker coming out of the box from Mansfield, and immediately getting involved, trying to disrupt things. It has worked. Flip Scotch Roth now at the front of the pack, really stretching it out. Mansfield finding room on the outside to pick up lead, and this pot is going to be the last jam of the first half.
Beautiful.
We're doing a little hokey-cokey there by Scotch Roth, who goes in, goes out, couldn't decide, thought might be
to
safe.
the penalty box.
And all the way around, but I think Cherry Droppy's got the star, otherwise those Mansfield blockers are just being mean. But Cherry Droppy aptly naked.
Dropping that Mansfield blocker to the floor.
Why do they call you Cherry Droppy? Let me show you. So, blocker in the box for Dorset. We're frantic end to this first half. The period clock is dead. There's 33 seconds on the jam clock.
Cherry dropped his first jam, and she's been sent to the penalty box for a cut track.
I mean, be busy pivoting. Can't be expected to be aware of where all those lines are.
Can't pay attention to their rules.
I'm busy being a pivot. How dare you?
That might be our first jammer switcheroo of the game
It
as
is
well.
our first jammer switcheroo. Jammer penalties have been relatively low in this first half. We'll get you some penalty details during the half time. But as we see Scotch Roth go through for 4 points. And that is going to take us into the half-time. A fantastic first half here between Dorset and Mansfield.
It's been a bit of everything in this so far, hasn't there?
It really has. Do you know what we haven't had? Apex jump.
Not memorable enough.
Not big enough.
Not big enough.
Lovely pirouettes.
Lovely pirouettes.
Big hits.
Big hits.
And one more
Whips.
jump. We've had 2 whips.
We've had
2
lots.
big whips.
run-ups from the jam line.
I request for the second half, apex jumps, please. So, we will be back with you in 14 or so minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank
Hello and welcome back, folks, to the second half of Dorset Roller Derby versus Mansfield Roller Derby. So, it is 44 points on the board for Mansfield, plays 87 to Dorset. This is the quarter-final, so this place in the semis on the line.
So that semi-final will be played tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. So another early start for one of these two teams.
Get up, get early, get yourself in the final. That would be the plan tomorrow morning. But things coming up today here on track 2, game 4, which is the next one on this track, is the other quarter-final, North Wales versus Riot City Ravens. That's at 12:30. And game 8 on this track will be the Tier 1 men's semi-final between Lincolnshire Thugley Ducklings versus Glasgow men's roller derby.
So bit of a mouthful.
There are, those are some names. Lincolnshire Thugley, but tell you what, they got some skaters.
They have. I've skated against a couple of them before.
They got some skaters, but we got some skaters, and we have got 30 more minutes of this Tier 2 WFTBA aligned quarter-final right here, and Moore gets out of the pack straight away, gets lead, and Mansfield starting the second half with a sense of urgency.
Brimful of Smasher getting bashed about there in that pack. And we're back to seeing that Brimful of Smasher morph lineup again.
We absolutely are. Number 800, Nuclear. Great blocking from them so far in this game. Look at the eyes watching in it. If it wasn't for the pivot, even with the pivot there, Nuclear still getting through, getting contact on the Dorset jammer there. Mansfield collecting the points and opening the second half exactly the way Dorset opened the first half. I say exactly. Dorset got all 4 and Mansfield got 3, but you get where I was going with that. And it's beautiful because it's 47 plays 87 and it looks nice.
And we know what that score differential is. That's 40. We can do that math.
We can do that math. I'm not going to lie, the 7s threw me off a little bit. I had to think about it. So, pack at disadvantage for Mansfield as both jammers get quite the run up. As the packs don't quite start at the pivot line, lurking a bit further back, but Mansfield is Blood, Sweat and Tears charging out and picking up the lead. So 2 in a row there for Mansfield, who have no intention of letting Dorset continue to control and run away with this. And look at that, it was great work by the blockers there. Just absolutely clearing Dorset to the outside in a very subtle fashion.
But Cherry Droppier forcing that call off as she hits Blood, Sweat and Tears to the inside. And once again, that classic run-up of a jam start from Blood, Sweat and Tears. We saw it a couple of times in the first half, and it looks like we're going to be seeing it a lot more again in this second half.
Do you know what? Do you know who Blood, Sweat and Tears reminds me of? Mia from
Which
Rainy
Mia?
City.
Which Mia?
All of the Mias. But Mia from Rainy City, that short, compact, but powerful, charging, jamming style. Now, for some different jamming styles, we've got Scotch Roth out for Mansfield, Palmageddon for Dorset. Lots of whistles, lots of penalties. We see Scotch Roth going to the box without quite the same urgency
as Blushes.
As Blushes was on their way. So this is a power jam for Palmageddon, the Dorset captain, but Mansfield doing everything they can to get bodies in the way, and Dorset retaliate.
A lot of chaos there between those two walls, trying to kind of play offense and counter offense off each other.
Dorset just checking that passive offence wouldn't be a good idea, and Palmageddon soon ground to a halt. So they're just going to go with the goat at the moment and try and disrupt things. But Mansfield blockers, and that is Nuclear again. Oh, and just shoved out there by Walnut Whip. Walnut Whip and Nuclear from Mansfield have done some serious work today. Look at them locking down now with Can Touch This. Those 3 blockers have done so much work, but in comes number 47, Blushes, the pivot, to set Palmageddon free.
Speaking of Walnut Whip, Walnut Whip's now kind of in danger of fouling out. She's now sitting on 6 penalties.
So 2 picked up very quickly then.
Yeah.
which would be a huge shame because Mansfield already skating with what looks like four less skaters.
Short, yeah.
4 less skaters than Dorset, and losing a blocker like Walnut Whip, who has been an instrumental part of the pack, would make this a real uphill struggle for Mansfield. So it's 50 on the board for them right now. Dorset with 89 and picking up 2 points in the last jam.
Kind of sticking around that kind of 39-40 point differential at the moment.
Yeah, there was a series of about 3 to 5 jams where Dorset really opened things up, put some big scores for this game up. As we see Mansfield with a pack disadvantage, and oh, look at the offensive work there. That was number 11, Spread Your Legs, who spread the Mansfield defence all over the place.
Brimful of Smasher able to jump around the track on the outside line, picking up lead jammer as she does so.
Mansfield able to get a lot of contact on the jammer, but not able to contain. Morph has completed the initial now, puts the hat back on. Gotta have your hat on to get your points. And Brimful of Smasher smashing into the wall. Oh, Apex Hop, I'll take it.
There you go.
I'll take it, Apex
You asked for
Hop.
it, you got it.
You know, I'll take that. So 4 points from Dorset and a beautifully executed call off to hold Mansfield scoreless.
Bringing the scores now to 93 to Dorset to Mansfield's 50.
So that is as large as the difference has gotten. It's 43 points. We haven't had it bigger than that yet. So we're just having a little time out here in Dorset, just having a little chat about things. Well, everybody else just takes a moment to make sure everything's okay here at the British Championships, live from Stoke-on-Trent. I hope you can get yourselves down here today or tomorrow, because it is going to be a fantastic weekend of roller derby. We'd love to see your faces down here, but if you can't join us, thank you for joining us on the live stream. And don't forget, we are going to be gracing the BBC with our roller derby presence tomorrow for all 3 finals. So get that on the red button in every device, on everything. Everybody you know needs to put the red button on tomorrow so the world knows about roller derby. But back to it live here with Fizzle Kicks for Dorset and Rudd, Sweat and Tears, who I swear is 100% for lead jam in this second half, is out, is lead jammer, and did it so quickly, using nuclear as a battering ram.
Fizzle Kick's able to make it out for her initial pass.
So will Mansfield run the jam? They decide not to now. I don't know about you, do you enjoy the derby Twitters?
Not as much as I could.
Okay.
I don't get on derby Twitter as much as I could.
I get amongst the derby Twitters, and you know, I'm no maths nerd, and I'm not into all of that side of things, but all I know is that derby Twitter would probably be saying they go long, run the jam. And I have to say, the Mansfield blockers have the potential to hold back and contain those Dorset jammers.
Yeah.
So I think if you are getting out lead and Rudd, Sweat and Tears is doing that work, then, you know, give it a chance. But we are back in action now.
We've got Palmageddon jamming for Dorset Roller Girls.
We do indeed. That looks like Scotch Roth to me, and it is
Scotch
Scotch Roth tiptoeing through on the inside. Excuse me, coming through, jammer coming through, but Dorset forced up in between turns 1 and 2 now. A little bit
Cherry
of
drop your tiptoeing around the inside to try and recycle Scotch Roth.
Oh, and that was a really simple move there from Jen of Iniquity on Mansfield, but it really just blocked Cherry Drop You from getting back in there. And we see the pack containing these jammers all the way to the entrance of turn 3, and it is Palmageddon who just scoots round the back of the Mansfield blocker to pick up the lead. So 30 seconds that took there. Scotch Ross stashes the star.
Stashing that star.
Be the sneaky jammer. But
Palmageddon doing a cracking job of taking that Mansfield wall to the outside line and then just kind of darting back to the inside, picking up the full point. 4 points.
Mansfield, hook, line and sinker there, weren't they? Absolutely great body positioning from there. Oh! I get an apex jump, I get a half pirouette, and I get a landing backwards.
That waltz jump from Palmer, I know she's put the work in on that. I've seen it.
Strictly come jamming, but power cut. It was a penalty picked up. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how sexy it looked. If it results in a penalty, you go to the penalty box. I mean, I say that, it doesn't matter to me. Your bench coach will have other thoughts on this situation. So it is a power jam, and it looks like we've had a star pass. And in comes the Mansfield train. Oh, but a back block picked up by one of the blockers, but it's a price worth paying.
Dragons Jen picking up that back block penalty, which even I saw from up here.
It was seen from space.
Or the balcony of judgment.
So that jam comes with a lovely little bit of sports personship there between the teams, just hugging at the end of a jam. I wouldn't necessarily want to hug any of these folks, but, you know, that's just me. So our scores right now are 53 to Mansfield, plays 97 to Dorset. 101 to Dorset. They've just smashed the century mark, and there are still 21 minutes on the clock. Dorset feel like they've got hold of this game. They know which direction they want to take it, and they are running with it, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of kind of nickel and dime derby from Mansfield today in terms of those short jams, get in lead, get in the points, calling it. Whether or not that's going to get them the game today, I don't know, but I can't wait to find out.
Can't they? Really going to need to find a way to hold back these Dorset jammers. So out there right now, that is Morph versus Brimful of Smasher, and Brimful of Smasher picks up lead real quick.
Morph hot on Brimful of Smasher's tail.
So the pack remains at turn one. Great offensive work, just screening those two Mansfield blockers to the inside there to allow Brimful of Smasher straight through, and a round of applause from the jammer there for the work by their blockers.
Yeah.
Because we do say, jammers are just there to collect points, you know? Blockers are there to make them. But a lovely collection job there by Brimful.
Bringing the score currently to 104 to Dorset and 53 to Mansfield. So bringing that kind of point differential to around the 50-51 mark. So
they are stretching away now. But Mansfield putting out blood, sweat and tears, looking to make a difference there.
Up against Fizzle Kicks. Fizzle Kicks trying the outside line and, you know, darting back to the middle, but not quick enough as Rod Sweat and Tears picks up lead jammer. Both jammers hot on each other.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to see this.
Fizzle Kicks almost looked up like, where did you come from? I swear I was in front. And I love the way that Rod goes into those tripods with no fear and great control. Oh! Yeah,
not quite. Cherry drop, you're taking Rud, Sweat and Tears right to the back of the pack, giving Fizzle Kicks the chance to pick up those points.
So Rudd running into the back, thankfully, of their own blocker, so that's a safe situation.
Fizzle Kicks being sent off track for a cut track penalty, so now we've got a power jam in favour of Mansfield. Mansfield's jammer still lead jammer, so could call it off and force a power start, but
there's a minute left on the jam clock, so it's what works best, and I think I would call it and go for the power jam start, but Rudd finds space, gets through, picks up the point.
Making the most of that no pack situation. All three of those Dorset blockers out the front, you know, if they're not in play, you don't have to come on behind them.
Exactly, that great awareness there. And they did, in fact, freeze the Dorset Jammer Fizzle Kicks in the box, so giving themselves a power start, and Scotch Roth gonna be the beneficiary.
Fizzle Kicks with less than 10 or less seconds.
And it does look like we have unfortunately lost Walnut Whip from Mansfield. We're not careless, they have fouled out.
Mansfield roller derby now only playing with 10 skaters for the rest of this game.
Wow, that is hard.
I've seen teams with kind of around the 9-10 mark put up a really, really good fight. I mean, the likes of Wiltshire, Hereford, both in Tier 2 of British Champs this year, both very small teams, but racking up the scores.
Though they be small,
they be mighty.
And they be fierce.
Oh, I got that one wrong, sorry.
It's all right, guys. It's all right. We've got all weekend to practice.
It's too early still.
What, you know, you're not ready. You're not ready for Shakespeare quotes. Oh.
No, I'm caffeinating the best I can.
Honestly, we've covered art. We've covered Shakespeare. What else have we covered? A bit of pottery.
Oh, pottery.
That was a delightful moment. I'm sure we shall cram all sorts of other factual facts into your ears throughout this weekend. We're not just here to bring you the roller derby facts. No. The inane dribble is free with it.
Inane culture dribble.
Oh, okay, cultured dribble. Fine. I'd never say that about myself. We've got matching jammers in the box.
Oh.
So there are officials going. This is awkward. Let's just figure that all out.
So I believe it's going to be fizzle kicks being released from the box immediately as the jam starts. And Rod, Sweat and Tears, I believe, is going to be coming out less than 30 seconds after. Not sure from up here how long Fizz served for that penalty.
I do believe Fizz at the full, it would have been almost a full penalty by the looks of things. So they were standing, so
They were.
I think it's going to be a good 20-25 seconds opportunity here. Oh!
Lateral hop straight back onto the track.
Jammer awareness and skills hand in hand there and getting Dorset lead.
Rod, Sweat and Tears stashing the star, but not going for the pass. Going straight into that Dorset wall, but being hit off and taken right back to the back of the pack.
And that is because the Mansfield pivot was very busy. Can touch this, but Kentucky just takes it now, but is being made aware that that was not legal. So goes back and says, no, you do it.
No, you take it. We'll do some hokey cokey with the jammer cover.
So the illegal star pass business has caused some confusion, and that confusion works in the favour of Mansfield. But meantime, Fizzle kick down there, 8 on the board already. Completes that, gets the extra 4, and that is the biggest, matching the biggest jam that Dorset have managed all game. 12 points is the highest we've seen.
It is the highest we've seen, bringing the score to 117 to Dorset to 57 for Mansfield. Not sure if you can see the graphics on your screen, but that's the score, just keeping you updated on that.
And we have 17 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock. So, actually it was 11 points picked up in that last jam.
Still the biggest jam of the game. And we've got an official
12 pointer. Did we not have a 12 pointer earlier? We're not quite on our stats this morning, but we will absolutely look into that for you as we do, in fact, have our first official review of the game. And I do believe we have mic'd up referees.
Yes.
So they are going to be able to deliver us their verdict live and direct. We hope.
Exciting.
It is indeed. And look at that fabulous collection of zebras there. What is the collective noun for a group of zebras, do we remember? Are they a flock?
Isn't it a herd?
They are just a herd. Are they just fancy horses?
Is there a special name for a collective noun of Derby zebras?
I mean, there probably is.
Probably
Are
is.
we allowed to say it, though? It's always the question you have to ask yourself. Oh, look, lovely little sight of the Welsh flag there on the side of Trey Cruel. And there's a lot of Welshness on offer. In fact, you should join us here for the next game on this track, which it'll be a fabulous battle. North Wales versus Riot City Ravens. They faced off against each other at the August Bank Holiday weekend at the inaugural Charters Cup, and it was tasty.
Oh, I missed it.
I was there, and I am ready to relive that right here in Stoke-on-Trent.
And it looks like we might have a verdict on this official review.
So we were told that should come through to our feed, but unfortunately that hasn't happened right now. So we will find out, if we can, what that official review was about and what the outcome was, and we will let you know. Oh, but in the meantime, Scott Roth straight out the inside to pick up lead for Mansfield, who, though skating short and being slightly done over by Dorset right now, have not given up.
Palmageddon falling flat onto the track right off the start of that jam, but picking herself up, passing the starter Spread Your Legs, as Spread Your Legs does her first jam of this game as pivot, making her way out the pack for her initial pass and coming round hard for points.
Dorset doing a really good job of containing Scotch Roth on this scoring pass right now. But it is a power jam, so hopefully the offense is going to come in. Help your jammer. I can't stress it enough. We can't. I can't watch a jammer struggle by with a whole plethora of blockers available. So, but Dorset able to ride out the offensive challenges here, and Mansfield got themselves a goat though. They've managed to pick off number 275 Square Go.
Square Go.
Lovely polka dots on display there. Oh, they're not polka dots, they're hearts. I thought they were polka dots.
Fun fact, Square Go, purple is her favourite colour, hence the purple skates, and she's got an extensive collection of glittery purple tights for scrims and game days.
This is what I love about Derby players. They all have their things, don't they?
I've got Trixie Mattel leggings for game day.
I mean, of course you have.
Of course I have.
Of course you have. And why wouldn't you? I'll be honest, one of the reasons I don't skate is because I literally look terrible in leggings. I look like I'm ready to start a fire. Two tiny little twigs ready to rub together.
We're the complete opposite. You've got twigs, I've got tree trunks.
It's just, the leggings literally, I look like drain pipes. It's just the stupidest thing in the world. So, yes.
We've got hugging on track.
Oh, I love a bit of hugging. Nobody's hugged us yet, and we smell way better than them. Oh, we're having a little hug.
We're having a little
cuddle. Having a little cuddle. You should cuddle anybody who's available at home with you right now, especially if they just made you a cup of tea and you haven't had to move off the sofa for all the entirety of this game. We've got 15 minutes to go in this quarter-final between Dorset versus Mansfield. Dorset really have taken control of this quarter-final, but Mansfield have made them work. I feel like we're going to have an official review, or do we just have a very enthusiastic referee? No.
Here we go.
We get the long whistle. It's going to be a power jam start.
As Spread Your Legs stands in the box
Oh,
for Dorset Roller Girls.
Lovely moon off the line there to just set more free immediately. A little bit of playback, maybe.
Brimful of smasher, swift shoulder punch to one of those Mansfield blockers, allowing Spread Your Legs to get through the pack with relative ease for their initial pass.
Oh, Morph with some excellent footwork there and avoids the hit as well of Brimful of smasher. But the speed of Spread Your Legs.
Spread Your Legs. Picking up those points.
Ready them quick, but Morph again with that beautiful toe stop work and track awareness.
Using Brimful of Smasher as a battering ram and that insane track awareness, able to go right up to the line in lane 4 and picking up those points.
So 8-all in this jam. Morph gets through, calls it, shuts out Dorset, and that was a cracking jam from Mansfield, who respond to Dorset with the equaling the highest score, or highest jam of the game, with the 12 points on there. Oh, that were a jam, that
were a jam, and it's lovely to see the pivots from both teams getting a crack at jamming. And, you know, for Legs' first jam, that was impressive.
That was nuts. So, interestingly, when in the first half we got to this sort of time and then Dorset really turned things on. Can we see that from Mansfield, maybe, making a little bit of a game of
I would love to see that from Mansfield. They've been turning up the heat so far in this second half. You know, Blood, Sweat and Tears, who's on track now for Mansfield, extremely high percentage of lead jams throughout this half. It looks like she's going for another one, but being shut down there by Cherry Droppier.
But the gate was shut there, so the blockers couldn't take them back too far, but it is Fizzle Kicks who picks up lead for Dorset. Lovely low line picked there by Rudd, who puts the hat back on to continue.
We've been seeing a lot of star stashes today in this game so far.
So Fizzle Kicks was desperately, sorry to interrupt you, was desperately trying to call it there. Had picked up a track cut, I believe. Gets an in-sub as well, potentially. I'm not sure about
if that in-sub is being issued, that's going to put Fizz at 6 penalties.
Let's have a look and see how that plays out. I'm curious. We'll watch our monitors to see if that does get updated. And also watch to see how long Fizzle Kick sits for. But in the meantime, Rudd with the assistance of that was in. I'm sure that was in.
Stone Cold Stunner doing a beautiful job there with her hips, knocking Rudd Sweat and Tears out.
I mean,
ish.
As a bench coach, I'm very happy that Rudd played it safe and went back. But as a spectator, as a supporter, as a lover of an Apex jump, I swear that was just in. But I could be wrong, which is why I talk about these things where I can easily be corrected. But it's a star pass right now, and I do believe
that's going to Kirk.
Kirk's first time with the star.
So it definitely seems like Fizzle Kicks was sat in the penalty box for longer than just one penalty. Whether or not sure at the moment how that affects their penalty total.
As we see, that's Cherry Drop, you're going back into the box at the end of that jam there as well. So Dorset with a bit of penalty trouble.
Definitely. We've also got 800 for Mansfield, that's Nuclear, on 6 penalties, so potentially one away from fouling out.
We are into the last 12 minutes of this quarter-final, and both teams are planning on leaving it all on track. No point saving it for the semi-final if you're not there. So they are battling through right now. Dorset taking a team timeout.
I mean, after a jam like that with potentially 2 penalties served in by the jammer, you want to kind of break up that kind of winning streak from Mansfield.
And also hopefully disrupt that little penalty spiral that your guys are going into. Just a moment to collect yourselves, discuss how you can close out the end of this game, because Mansfield right now is sitting on 79, but Dorset on 126. So that's a 47 points differential,
it's doable.
I believe. It was up at 50, nearly 60 points at one point. So we're Mansfield bringing that back down, and they do still have time to get back into this game.
Yeah.
So, and the way the last couple of jams have gone, it'll be interesting to see how the momentum pendulum swings after that team timeout. Just making sure we're all okay with our penalties.
Making sure there's no extra pivots on track, I think, there as well.
Also good. Just the one pivot, please, per team. If everybody starts pivoting, it'll get crazier.
It'd be like one of those London fundraisers where they make the refs jam and everything.
People go backwards, there's dancing, it's outrageous, and it's fun, and I like it. But it's not the time or the place for that.
Not.
Here at the British Championships, the pinnacle of roller derby in the UK. This is what everybody's playing for.
Oh, I'm getting a little wave from the Dorset blockers.
There's a little bit of Dorset love happening up here. Oh, it's very nice. And that's what it is. It's a fabulous weekend here in Stoke. We are very pleased you could join us on the live stream, which is being provided to you today by Real Time Events, who are doing a stellar job, and we are incredibly well looked after. And hopefully you at home are enjoying this on your big TV or your little phone.
Little phone out in the garden.
Ooh,
I mean, we're
today.
stuck inside all weekend, but that doesn't mean that you have to, and you don't have to miss out on the derby either. Watch it on your phone, watch it on your tablet, and enjoy the weather.
You mean people don't have to be stuck in sports halls all weekend? This is news to me.
This is news to me.
This is very new news to me. Oh yeah, imagine that today in your back garden. But get a projector out, get the bed sheet out. Oh, British champs in your outdoor cinema.
In a hammock.
I've been on Pinterest far too much this week.
It
Can't
sounds
you
like
tell?
it.
Get my sunken pit dug. Right. So Mansfield in a bit of a pit of their own, but there is a possibility to come back now. They put Scotch Roth out to jam up against Brimful of Smasher.
Oh, that Scotch Roth picking up lead jammer as Brimful of Smashers taken out to the outside line and swept off her feet.
There was a lovely little moment there where the last Dorset blocker was out of play, and Scotch Ross just gave a look like, you can't touch me, and just scooted on by.
Nice
Scotch
little bit of
Ross,
sassiness.
oh, gets the back block, was worried about the toe stopped in the track, but actually gets a back block, so power jam in favour of Brimful of Smasher right now.
But no lead jammer, so this one is going to run for the full 2 minutes, so 1 minute and 10 seconds left of this one.
What did Brimful of Smasher go in for?
What did she do?
I missed that.
That's her first penalty of the game, so that's a cut track penalty for Brimful of Smasher.
The first of the game with 10 minutes to go. That is some clean jamming.
She is a very clean jammer.
That's a jammer who washes their legs right there, people. So, all action in the pack as Scotch Ross gets taken down. So no points put up yet in this jam. But now comes Brimful of Smasher looking for some. Oh, bean dips around the outside. Jen of Iniquity couldn't get there. And Scotch Ross having a time of things on the exit of turn 4. Oh, a lovely block there from Dorset, just dropping Scotch Ross. And actually, we've got a huge pile up on the outside, as that's where everybody wants to be.
Is anyone going to take that inside line?
It was begging to be taken there,
was.
wasn't it? Oh, it's a star pass.
It is. Now Ken Tush this, jamming for Mansfield roller derby. But not enough time left on that jam clock.
So Scotch Ross actually sitting on 5 penalties now as we head into this final 9.5 minutes. I have to say, Morph picked up the 1 penalty. So again, really clean jamming from Morph as well. And that was a forearms. And what even are forearms?
Oh, I don't even know.
So they're just everywhere. So here we go. Oh, look at that footwork from Morph there, just round the pack, and that inside line was begging to be taken, and Morph was all over it.
Armageddon being taken down on that outside line on turn 1. We've seen it in the past couple of jams. It seems to be a bit of a hot spot for Mansfield.
Oh, and a huge takeout there. That was number 47, Blushes, who did shut Mansfield down then.
It was Blushes that was on the receiving end of the bows at Dorset's last game, taking out their Riot City's jammer.
And this has been a fabulous matchup between Dorset and Mansfield. Our scores right now, 86 to Mansfield, plays 133 to Dorset. We've got 8.5 minutes left on the clock in this Tier 2 WFTDA aligned quarterfinals of the British Championships. Pack advantage with Dorset as we begin jam 15 here. And it is Fizzle Kicks.
Fizzle Kicks down that inside line, up against Rudd, Sweat and Tears yet again. Rudd seeming to have a bit more of an issue with that Dorset wall than they normally do.
Still out in good time though. We've got 1 minute 45 left. And oh! Went big, went over.
Straight into Yana Chekyu for Dorset.
And got 2 points for it.
Perfect.
Get your hips up and over. Oh, it reminds me of that jammer who just rolls over the back. Have you seen that clip?
No.
I think it's Angel City. I want to say it's Pearl Jam comes in and literally body rolls over the top. It's a somersault and lands on both skates and skates away. I tell you what, if you love a roller derby gif, you need to get on the old Derby Twitter. And that there Diana Sprint gifs everything. You want a good gif? Follow sprints from Tiger Bay. Oh.
Just waiting for the playoffs games, for Wifter playoffs to get up on YouTube. There's loads of those games I want to watch.
They're all on Twitch now, are they not? It's WFTDA live on Twitch. I think you need to have a subscription or have bought a watch pass. Please don't quote me on that because I am not all-knowing, but it's Morph versus Parmageddon. I know that.
Parmageddon going round the outside of the track, picking up lead jammer for Dorset.
So,
Blushes
Morph
trying to hit Morph out, and the Dorset will just reforming in front of Morph there.
There is just something incredibly relaxed about the way Morph jams.
Yeah.
Morph does not look like they're in a quarter-final of the British Championships right now. Big smiles as well.
Big smiles all round.
But the jam is called there. No points put up by anybody. It is 88 to Mansfield, plays 137 to Dorset. We have 6 minutes and 47 seconds left on the clock. And we have, dun, 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 an empty penalty box.
Wow.
My gift to you. So, here we go. We have got Scotch Roth, who is sitting on 5 penalties right now, out jamming up against...
That's brimful of smasher, I believe.
It does look like brimful to me. Oh, Scotch Roth through the inside.
That's spread your legs.
Spread your legs, not even pretending anymore, starting out with a star on head from the jam line. And we saw a great turn of pace on spread your legs as well. Oh, it is defensive jamming happening. There's any points in that? There's one sneaky point picked up there by Dorset.
And wasn't Mansfield leading that jam as well?
I do believe they were. Oh, yeah. Oh, there was a bit of hip shaking down there going on. I don't think we're going to have a time out here. There's a Mansfield bench coach lurking in the middle. And Dorset do have one in the box as well. So, 88. Plays 137 here in the Tier 2 WFTDA aligned quarter-final.
About 5.5 minutes left of this game.
There are, but don't go anywhere, because up next on track 2 is game 4, which is also the Tier 2 WFTDA aligned quarter-final, and that is going to be between North Wales Roller Derby versus Riot City Ravens. That is coming to you live at 12:30 right here. You wouldn't even have to do anything. And then do come back a little bit later. I think it's 4 o'clock this afternoon on this track. We will treat you to the Tier 1 men's semi-final, and that is between Lincolnshire Thugly Ducklings versus Glasgow Men's Roller Derby. Now, I was really excited because I was like, I'm going to see Optimus Grime, innit? Because he's, you know, Glasgow are coming down, but of course...
Optimus Grime, Rosie Peacock.
No, transferred, didn't he?
Both transfers to New World Order.
But it's okay, because they're here as well.
Yay!
So we're still winning. And we still get to see all the lovely Glasgow skaters as well. Darth Vader.
Never actually watched Glasgow play before.
You are in for a treat.
I am.
Get yourself an Iron Brew, my friend, because that is going to be tasty. Right, here we go. And that is Rod, Sweat and Tears out front, launching out front. Dorset blockers have to run up to catch her at turn 2.
Fizzle kicks jamming there for Dorset Roller Girls, going through the inside line, but not enough to pick up lead jammer.
No, Rod's got at least quarter of a track right now. But we're in, looking for points, rounding out to both passing hips at the same time. I think there's going to be points all round. There's a conversation happening between our refs right now.
There's a giant smile on Dorset's Ferocious's face there as she hits the Mansfield jammer out.
Right, so we are just checking on points. Mansfield getting no points denied on that pass. So 88 for Mansfield plays 141 for Dorset with 4 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock.
And at this late stage in the game, Nuclear from Mansfield Roller Derby has fouled out. So that's another loss to Mansfield.
That is, and that Nuclear had done some great work in conjunction with both of them. I mean, if you're going to have to skate that many jams when you're playing short, picking up the penalties does seem incredibly likely.
Armageddon calling the jam off, it kind of playing some real good strategy there. Both jammers being able to make it out relatively easy of that of the pack. You know, you don't want to give away those points in that situation.
No, absolutely not. And they have frozen a Mansfield blocker in the box, so they're keeping the pack advantage as we go into this next jam. And it is about clock management now, isn't it, really? You want to be running down the clock, and Dorset have done a very good job of that in the closing stages of this second half. You know, clock management, game management, these are also skills that are invaluable. So, Scotch Roth out there for Mansfield versus...
Brimful of smasher for Dorset Roller Girls, who is now the lead jammer. Scotch Roth not able to make it out of the pack yet, going for that star stash, but not passing it off to their pivot straight away.
So we've got 3 minutes and 30 left on the period clock. We've got 1 minute and 30 left on the jam clock.
It's a beautiful little hop around the inside line there from Brimful of Smasher, picking up those 4 points.
And you get a look at the action in the pack there as both sets of blockers look to make sure they contain their jammers. Lovely little straddle there, but actually going to see Brimful go to the box. It's a power jam now.
Brimful of Smasher being issued a back block just then.
And we see the pivot for Mansfield also head into the box as well. Scotch Ross still with a rat off, shown to the infield, and there's going to be a little recycle. Mansfield are able to stop that from being too far. But you can see the toll that this game has taken on the Mansfield jammers, and Scotch Roth approaches a tripod of doom, but is ably supported by their blocking friends. Of course, we will go the full 2 minutes in this jam. There are 36 seconds left of it.
That Dorset will doing a brilliant job of tracking Scotch Roth there, and Scrim Fandango for Dorset taking the jammer off.
But in the meantime, around the outside, finding a lovely line was Brimful of Smasher. There are 8 points picked up by Dorset so far. Avoids the hits, but does need to recycle. Couldn't keep it under control with the momentum and the speed that had been picked up. Oh, that was a great star pass.
Ooh.
That was such a sneaky and stealthy star pass.
I didn't even see it.
I thought she'd just fallen over, and then I realised that she had the star in her hand and she was on the other side of the pack and ready to get out. So that jam did come to an end, and scores are 88 to Mansfield, 153 to Dorset, and there is literally a minute and a half left of this game. So Dorset will be advancing to play in the semi-finals for Tier 2.
That means another early start for them. It's 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
No pub for you tonight.
No.
You are athletes.
And
ready to bed for athletes.
I have the joy of announcing that game tomorrow as well on the live stream.
However, do have to go to the pub. To the Glebe, sir.
Glebe?
Yes, we are going to the Glebe. It's a tradition. I've been here once before, so therefore it's a tradition.
Oh, no, that's fine. We've Dorset have been here twice before, and we've got traditions from last year.
That's it. You only have to come somewhere once, but to the Glebe is where we shall be. But Dorset will be getting an early night and making sure they are in fine form when they head into the semi-finals. I mean, I'm not wanting to write Mansfield off, but that would be a power jam if they did this.
Do we know who won the Wiltshire Hull game?
We do not, but we can find out.
And even from up here in the balcony of judgment, I can hear those Dorset supporters chanting away.
It's not where you expect to find all of Dorset, but they are here cheering on their team, who look to be progressing to the semi-finals. But Morph doesn't care. Morph is lead jammer. Morph's got all the great footwork, and Morph will take Mansfield into lead in this final jam.
Up against Fizzle Kicks for Dorset.
And a low block picked up there by the Mansfield blocker, which was unfortunate. Not intentional, but the trailing skate. Oh, Morph just hit out by Blushes there.
Can best blocker go to just Blushes' butt? It's done some stellar work today.
So it turns out that it will be Wiltshire.
Oh.
Wiltshire are who Dorset will face. Oh, that's all a bit near, isn't it?
It is. They're neighbours.
That's Derby, that is. Derby. Look, so Dorset will be facing off against Wiltshire for Tier 2 semi-finals. Mansfield, though, with an extraordinary display and extraordinary toe start work there from Morph, who is not going quietly into the night. Fizzle Kicks goes through, levels the scores, 8-all in this jam.
Yana Chekyu going for that recycle there of Morph.
So the period clock is now dead. There are just 30 seconds remaining in the jam clock as Dorset come through and pick up 4 more points.
There you have it. Morph calls the jam and brings this game, the Tier 2 WFTDA aligned quarterfinal, to a close.
It did indeed. So Dorset, who did come into that on top and the favoured team, do in fact progress to the Tier 2 semi-finals, which, as we mentioned, will be at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So tune in then to find out if they can defeat their neighbours Wiltshire. That was a fantastic game, Tim. Mansfield just looked like they could just almost at any point get back into it.
There were moments where it looked like Mansfield could have brought that back, and like I mentioned earlier, the kind of gameplay that they were doing, those kind of short jams, picking up the points, calling it before Dorset could pick any up, like that's, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you need those longer jams to just, you know, ride out the storm, get as many as you can before calling it off.
If I'm honest, what felt like the difference to me was that final 15 minutes of the first half.
Definitely.
There was something there that Dorset just really ramped up the pressure. They choked back the Mansfield blockers, and I'd be really interested to see the stats during that period of the game, because that was where the difference came up. Dorset also able to put in the multi-scoring passes.
Yes.
So those 8s, those 10s, 11s, there were a couple of 12s in there, and they, you know, really made the difference here. Look at Mansfield just in touching distance of the 100-point mark. That's just a tease right there as the game ends at 99 to Mansfield and 165 to Dorset. So, as we said, Dorset will progress to the semi-final.
Yep.
9 a.m. tomorrow, and I believe you'll be there.
I'll be there on the stream.
So Tim will be joining you tomorrow for that. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow, but I'll definitely be here enjoying this roller
look at
derby.
those glittery hot pants.
Stay here on track 2 because it's coming up at 12:30. We've got North Wales roller derby versus Riot City Ravens. Talking of a derby, that one is a derby, and it's going to be amazing. Join us then at 12:30 for that. Otherwise, we will see you later.
Thank you very much.